Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon, and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Well, we're doing something a little bit different. This is going to be a micro case. Micro case on something that I actually received in my email. Yes, I actually have an email. I received this as a press kit. They said, would you like to take a look at this? This would be something cool to review. And I said, well, no, I will. I will go over this, and I decided to go over it. What we're going to be going over today is something called Nekropol, and in turn, Bonepunk, which is a game that isn't really a game. I actually didn't really know how to handle this one for a few different reasons, most notably because this isn't really a game. It's a setting. It definitely is a thing. I don't know what you would call it though. So let's just to show you the idea. This is a very pretty thing. This is the cover. This is the press kit of Nekropol. This is the big thing. He shows all the key features: tabletop role-playing game adventure location and setting, transhuman horror toolbox packed full of flavor. Defletch and surgically enhance your characters. Escapire to skeletal perfection. Includes 100 plus system-neutral body parts, graphs, and necrotech equipment. Breathtaking art. Breathtaking art. From Spaghetti Bastard. And the entire science fantasy zine doubles as a D20 table. Each page cleverly designed to function both as a loot table, a monster with abilities, and a character creation options, and more. Easy as pie, and specifically said as easy as pie. 1-page city generation, and it's 100% free. Everything is drawn by this. All the art assets are here, and what others are saying. Sean McCoy from Mothership. This looks cool. Sebek. This. Game design layout by Bugbear Slug. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. So, we need to, like, who is this guy? Who is this person? Who are you, Mr. Bearbug Slug? Well, I'm going to give you all a little bit of a hint. Not much. So, generally speaking, Bearbug Slug is this person. This is pretty much the extent of what they have. Just these two things, which we'll be going over. Bonepunk as well. Post morality, tabletop RPG rule set, and toolbox. Rise up or be raised up. I'm like, alright, you can buy it. You can get this for free right now. Let's look at his blog spot. 3 weeks ago, this is when Nekropol officially came out. And here are a bunch of things. Here's some 5e. Here's some 5e. Like this, there's some 5e tables. Oh, it's OSR without D&D. Oh, it's Bonepunk from the 1st of November. Oh, it's the Gun Wizard. Oh, Glog classes. Oh. Yeah, you have a few of these. He seems to be a fairly big in the not quite OSR scene, but not quite OSR. Now, yeah, you can see right down here, how to glog. Sounds like a weird sex thing. How to glog. That makes sense to me. Trouble understanding. No system fits any group. People are complicated. The idea is when we can reach closer to a system which is perfect for a group, modifying or creating a system to fit its puzzles pleases. Modifying Glog's system is based around modularity. Glog does not try to fight changes, is built for change. Oof. You could play a gorilla skeleton in Bonepunk. You can do all of these things. And this is kind of what this guy does. Like, this is his thing. And I would like to say that there's something more to it, but no, he is a glog writer. He glogs. Gloggily. Like, it's kind of hard to explain. But this is kind of his blog, and now Nekropol was his most recent thing, or I believe to be his setting called Bonepunk. Now, let's see. We got some other ones, just some basic things there. These are just literally all. Now, mind you, a vast majority of the. No, we're not going to comment on that. Like, a majority of this, like, it's a blog for glog. But all right, let's. There was a Twitter on there. Let's look at the Twitter. I mean, he's got to have something on the Twitter sphere, right? He's got to. Oh. Game design necromancer, 18 following. He literally set up his Twitter at the beginning of the year, and he has tweeted his own stuff, which that's pretty much it. There he is. Then he stopped posting, and then that's it. He also has print the low Paul. Yeah, this is not much. There isn't anything here. But all right, like, and generally speaking, I couldn't really find anything else. That's one of the biggest issues, is that there really isn't anything else to really go off of. And if you think that there's anything, punk you with my bone. But yeah, if you think that there's anything really else outside of this, you would be sorely, sorely mistaken. Mr. Bugbear Slug here doesn't really have much to actually work off of. However, we do have someone to work off with, otherwise known as the very talented Spaghetti Bastard. Let's see what Spaghetti Bastard. What do you do? Oh, you're a Tumblr artist. Oh, okay. You do this artwork. Oh, yep, this is definitely artwork. I think we would call this the fucking best. It's very pretty. I give it that. It's very pretty. This person does actually have a Patreon, this particular artist. But here's the thing. This person was commissioned to do this project. And you're gonna like it. Do you like this artwork? I'm gonna ask y'all all of this right now, right this minute. Do you like this art? If the answer is no, then don't bother with Nekropol, because this is what it is. Do you think that this is, in a way, interesting to read or look at? Then yeah, Nekropol is worth your time. It's free. There's nothing you can do. And hell, it's even things like having all of the art assets are here. Every single one of them. You want to play a necro engineer? Here's some of the zine format because he wants to make this a zine. Look, everybody, it's so pretty, right? It's pretty. You should clap. Why aren't you clapping? And he even has every single one of the spreads. Even though, honestly, you only need about one page of this to actually make it work. All the pages here, very pretty. I give it that. I like the art. But that's it, really. Congratulations, I've summarized the vast majority of Nekropol for you. But I said I would go into it. I said that I would look at what Nekropol was. So I was interested in it. I wanted to know, I wanted to look, and I just wanted to see. So what is this? Well, it is a... How do I want to work? Well, I think this kind of sums it up. The book is a science fantasy RPG toolbox for generating surgically enhanced undead in their city-state of Nekropol. It is system neutral. It is not. Works with most RPG systems alongside some elbow grease. Plug-in, designed to be inserted into any existing setting as one of many diverse places within the world. Now, why I wanted to talk about their blog first, and the reason I like to bring up things. One of the major things about this is that you have to remember that this person likes GLOG. He likes Goblin Law of Gaming. And what was Goblin Law of Gaming? A system-neutral, fairly easy-to-plug-in thing. Am I implying that this is a GLOG? This is a GLOG module that he wanted to make system-neutral because people don't know what GLOG is. Yes. And it shows. It does show. I'm not going to lie. And if you're going into this thinking like this is going to be like truly like a independent thing, not really. For a few reasons, it does make some assumptions, and those assumptions are interesting. And is this going to be able to like slot nicely into any setting? Absolutely not. If you think that, you're going to be horribly mistaken. So, what is the legend? Long have we dreamt of a cure to death, and in truth, it exists. A fountain of youth hidden past wastelands where nothing will grow. In the land surrounding this fountain, an entire city of wise immortals thrive, taking tribute from the lords and gods alike who come to beg for a reprieve. Bring a king's fortune or pledge yourself to the undying lords, and you too may be granted immortality. The truth, the fountain does not give life, it renders one animate in death. No longer sustained by obsolete metabolism, flesh rots away, leaving a blank canvas for the bone sculptor's tools. At city's disposal are innumerable horrors stitched together from the tribute of desperate lords. Nekropol has grown powerful, yet plagued by internal strife. But a push in either direction could break the factional deadlock and determine the fate awaiting the world of the living and the dead. Yeah, this is, by most metrics, a setting, say, what if dead people were alive and had a city? Everybody clap. Why aren't you clapping? And you kind of see here, this is what I meant by, like, do you like that person's artwork? You're not buying this book for any other reason other than this artwork. And, yeah, icons, oh, wow, Bear Bucks Log, Twitter, Bear Bucks Log. Don't have anything on Twitter. Agents of the post-human dead walk among the living as ivory sculpts. Uncanny imitations of life known as necroborgs. Yeah. This is what I mean by things like rules that arbitrates the rules and may alter them as appropriate. Their desperation never leads to them the industrial hellscape of Nekropol. Here its factions are at each other's throats. Even a small group of adventurers risk upsetting this powder keg of a city. One may even choose to play group. And the Necropolitans, stuck in the middle of this factional conflict. Now, what the big thing here, what they're trying to do, what they're trying to say, what they're trying to kind of get across more than anything, is the fact that this is, a very, this is an industrial city and all that. So anytime you have any setting that doesn't involve industry and like kind of like a bigger capacity, cannot be fit into this. Just take it out. You don't need it anymore because it's not at that at all. Again, what I mean by it's not system neutral, you can work and plug it into any existing setting. Like, it really can't be put in there unless you kind of either you build around it or you understand that it is present. It is such an overwhelming force. That's the issue. And you could say, oh, well, this can change everything to magic. Or, oh, hey, just change everything. They're not necroborgs. This is page 3. We already know that they are called necroborgs. We already have the legend and the truth. These are important parts. These are already important things. We already have this. This is like the first fucking line. You're not putting this really in anything else, except what you kind of want to put it in. Now, the big thing is you can try to you create a Nekropol, take any character from your system and kill them. Like, okay, we want to kill all our characters. Reanimate their surgically enhanced carcass as detailed on the next page. You can find the process optimized for NPCs inside the back cover of the... Now, the big thing is every single creature, every single Nekropol, you could say, has three main parts. They have their skull, the cradle of the skull, and their undead body, as the Nekropol itself. Yeah, it's the skeleton and the cradle and the skull. I mean, you also can put in things as grafts, which are prosthetics and augments, the form that have to be surgically grafted onto the body to function. So it's like, cool. They're explicitly undead, intelligent, and in possession of a soul. If there is a soul. No, it's fine if there isn't. And, they also you also have things like prices for services and items are indicated through the coin icon. If you assumed one coin was the equivalent of one fantasy RPG gold coin when designing it. But you should be ready to adjust your own standard and the desired availability of Nekropol tech. Yeah, it's like, ooh. Ooh. And the thing is, they even kind of factor in things. This is what I mean by this is very much a game built around OSR, GLOG, D&D isms. They have no physical needs, nor do they tire, lacking natural regeneration. They may need a few moments to repair and the wear and tear to their bodies. However, they still need to spend the same amount of time in maintaining their body as others would do recovering. Anytime you do an 8-hour rest, it just acts the exact same. There's no differences, there's no changes, it's just an 8-hour rest is an 8-hour rest for you. It's the same thing. So it's like, okay, you kind of take away something that could be interesting, or a little bit even overpowered, but you are also a giant necro-cyborg. So, cool. Alright. Now, I'm going to be doing this legit. We're doing this legit. We're gonna convert. We're gonna, in the corner here, I'm gonna have my list of things that we're gonna do. We're gonna make a character together, everybody. Why? Because I care about you, and I want to show you the true Nekropol experience. And that true Nekropol experience. Tons of gold coins. So trust me, there's some that are very a lot of money, let's just say. So the big thing is, like, when you've killed your character, what you have to do is that you have to deflesh and reanimate. Roll 1d6 and roll d6 on each of the above tables. Look up the page number for each result. For 3 pages, you must select one skeleton and one skull, and these form the new body. Cool. So let's roll. Let's roll, shall we? Let's roll. I've got my little d6 here. Let's roll our background. Roll the 5. We are an outcast. So cool. We have to put down the outcast, and it's on page 5. Let's roll our background. Actually, our district. We roll the 5 again. We are from the mounds. Page 5. And now we have to roll our faction. We are the Exodites. We are on 16. Don't lie, you know you don't care about us. But that's the thing, I do care about all of you. So, we've determined that. So next we have to go to our background. So, we have to choose our archive history. We have to note down each workforce, district, and faction that was rolled in step 1. And then we have to determine our function. We roll 3d6 to determine our career. Like, oh, okay, we got a little cool. You look at the kit on their workforce page and add its content to our inventory. Alright. This is what the main game, this is what you're paying for, are these. Right here. Now, this is the big thing, the big gimmick you could say about this particular game is that a vast majority of the game, as you see, we're on page 20, we're on page 6 of 28 right now. Page 1 is the cover page, and page 28 is the back, and there's like two pages that effectively state that they're nothing. This is a D20 table. This is what the game is. It is a D20 table. You can turn to a certain page and get the exact table you need. So, we're going to go through all of these just because I want you to kind of understand what we're getting ourselves into. Now, this is the work. These are the first 6 entries are the workforce. These are things that your character does for a living. So let's say, for example, we rolled engineering. So the prize perpetual motion of an undead is limited only by wear and tear. The Necro-Engineers saw it fit to solve their inherent flaws through technology, titanium-reinforced skeletons, amalgam logic engines. The possibilities are endless. But the need for innovate technology only grows as they drift further from the human baseline, a future eagerly anticipated. Now, you kind of see this, and you're like, wait a second, titanium-reinforced skeletons, amalgam logic engines. Bitch, you want me to stick this in my fucking sword and sorcery game? No. That ain't gonna happen. That ain't... Conan doesn't have something called the amalgam logic engine in it. There's no titanium reinforced skeletons in this. It's kind of one of those things where they want to say, this is generic, and you kind of slot this in anywhere. But it is also very dedicated. You know, it says, this is what you're doing, this is how you're going to do it. And you look at it, you're like, that doesn't quite sound right. Now, at first, I actually thought this was going to be its own role-playing game. I thought this was going to be its own thing. Now, if you were to pitch to me that this is just its own game, then I could get behind it. But you have to factor in that you have to be able to slot this in anywhere. That's the big thing. But now this is where things get a little bit wonkier. So it's like, oh, limbs upon limbs will provide a rigid appearance of the body. Each of its limbs are like stacked cups. The skeleton allows for the neck of each limb to extend up to 20 feet on demand. 3,000 fictional dollars, 25 weight. An animal cranium, its empty sockets beaming with energy. Your body parts and sensory organs function while separated from their body, seamlessly detach and reattach. The demolition kit. The giant sledgehammer. The bucket of thermite. Goggles. 25-foot fuse. Lever detonator. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, cool, awesome, super weird necrotech. Demolition kit that you would find in like a fucking, D&D game. It's like, One of the earlier runs of Conan comics, rules post-apocalyptical and you regularly fought robots. Yeah. But again, my thing is this. Could you picture this just sitting there in like this entire city-state in a sword and sorcery game? Kind of clash with the tone a little bit. It would kind of clash with certain things. Can you picture this in Faerun? Probably not. It's its own very dedicated thing. And you also get things like, oh, these are just usable items. Because what can happen is, what you're supposed to do is, let's say I roll my d20 and I roll a 1 and I roll an engineer, and I can see like, oh, well, I want to. Well, this NPC has the overseer skull. And he has telescopic limbs, and he's like this big old ram man with, weird cup arms, like over here. This right here is this character, or these. Do you want anything more? You're not going to get that. Someone needs to cleanse all the D&D settings. Yeah, so these are the flesh crafters. Despite the undead and the innovations of necro-engineers, you'll also notice a very specific trend of calling everything at the end of everything necro. It's not And that's not, innovations of engineers. It's necro engineers. It's Nekropol. It's necro. Like, we get it. Fleshcrafters toy with evolution itself. The Genesis vats breed giga insects. Coral reefs of enamel. Designer bodies. Yeah, no, these guys are flesh crafters, and you get to choose one of these two. These are your one of two of your options for your skeleton or your skull. Your defleshing kit, a small but vicious skeletal dog, a leash and collar. They're the rat catchers from Warhammer 40,000. Not Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer Fantasy. And it's like, why? Okay, that's fine. The portable cloning womb. Oh boy. It desires the death of its original and to take their place. The defleshing glands. Thick veins caress the jawbone, pumping acid. The liquid solution can make its way through anything, but unable to melt bone, leaving only a bleached surface. It can produce up to 1 vial's worth of acid a day. The Xeno breeding pod. And it gains skeleton structure, internal workings of the first, and outward-facing features of the second, such as an exoskeleton and sensory organ. Oh. The Osium skull. The Necrogenesis skull. Like, if this Space Cave and Monka-esque. Like, like, the weird thing is, like, if you put, like 95% of this to, like, a guitar riff, being like, oh, yeah, what's your new band's, song called? Necrogenesis skull. It makes a lot more sense. Like, oh, cool. Like, yeah, alright. All I'm saying is that if a metal band called Nekropol came out on stage and be like, welcome, this is our new hit single, Necrogenesis skull, I'd be down. Make it a, power thrash metal band, I'd be dead. Like, fuck it, I'm down. Like, I don't know about you, like, I'd be okay with it. But yeah, so it's like, okay, then disguise kit. Oh, because you get things like this. Oh, cool. It's like, your living body sculpted with bone meal particles. It appears to be alive until touched. It even grows to cover the skull, completing the illusion. Each sculpt is custom made to replicate a living person almost perfectly. Then it's like, disguise kit. Scalped wig. Glue. Skin strip. Like, oh. Cool. It's like, oh, rapture, hard drug for end physiologies. All emulates the living sensations, such as breathing, taste, and muscle stretching, commonly used in inspiration, ease body dysmorphia. Directable paint, the puppeteer tendons. Now, one of the big issues here, as well, is what you're going to probably notice, is that these 6 things are pretty much whatever the gimmick is. There aren't actually that many. Of the 20 changes, there are 6 each, so that would be about 120. That is 120 options effectively. And those 120 options aren't actually really 120. Because it's more like you're going to get 20 skeletons, 20 skulls. Actually, I should more accurately say 18 skeletons, 18 skulls, and then some other stuff. Which, oh, it's 5,000 gold pieces for this, or it's like, oh, this is 3,000 for the defleshing glands, or the Xeno breeding pod. Like, that's like a large amount of money for things. The osteokinetic frame, multitasking platform. Oh, there's a minor spelling mistake. Begone, trash product. Osteokinetic frame, multitasking platforms, Like, okay, but it's like investigation kit. My favorite investigation kit. The the crowbar. Like, if I were to say, like, the one of my biggest issues with this at the end of the day is that, like, it looks really cool. It sounds kind of neat. But then you read it and it's like, oh, that's not maybe what I'm really looking for. Like, that's cool. Wink. Headless skeleton stylishly hooked around you like a corset. The strange bolt is pulled, it comes to free, tearing the corset apart, relentless hunting living creatures nearby. It's like, cool. The thing is, this is useless in a game. I'm not saying that it's like the item-wise it's useless. I'm saying that this doesn't mean anything in a game. Like, do I have to make a different enemy out, suddenly? Is there like a bunch of different things? That I think like a dedicated system could actually be a little bit interesting here, but there isn't one. Ah, yes, okay, so, the outcasts. So, occupying the fringes of society, outlaws forge their own path. In contrast to the realms of the living, prevention of death has led to a rejection of spirituality, what lies beyond life. But here, strange faith and ideologies thrive. Dissent and schism hang in the air like static charge. Power must pass on to new generations. The transition must be forced. So be it. And as such, we have things such as our invisibility projector, the reassembler, and it's like, cool, or the burglary kit. Because yes, because I rolled Outcast. Simply because I rolled Outcast, I will get the burglary kit. That's just something I have. And that's fine, but that's like, oh, well, I want something perhaps a little bit more. But now we need to generate our career. Alright, let's generate our career, everybody. Our first category. We are a hunted. Let's see, our career is we are a hunted gutter scavenger. There we go, we did it. That's our career, the hunted gutter scavenger. And yep, that's it. Let's see, do we want any of these? Let's get the reassembler body. Why not? Because that seems fun. A reassembler skeleton. That seems like fun. We have the Neato burrito. Yeah, we also have the violence one. Like, oh, of weapons, exhaust pipes. Ooh. You're fucking trash. I am trash. I am a trash man, because that's what I randomly rolled. You also get the assassination kits here. You also get the predatory filters if you want. Let's go. Then we have to do the districts. The districts are the parts that make up. These are what make up Nekropol. You know, the central area of Nekropol. Beneath the canopies of sprawling bazaars, living beings are bought, sold, and defleshed. The few visiting tourists find themselves besieged by artisans and guilds. The cure to death is offered, and a stomachable new body is proposed. The price is far too high, but nothing is high enough to the mad and desperate. Like, oh wow. You know, you can be a necromorph, a phasing skull, get a surgery kit, a beetle candy, alarmist. Oh boy. The thing is, if you're in this area, the big thing is, like, if you're in this district, what you can do is roll for a random street. Such as, let's roll for a random street here. We're going to be in the Crimson Festive Stalls. Welcome to the Crimson Festive Stalls. It's so much fun. Aren't you having fun? Look at all these random charts. This makes the game fun. Are you having fun? Let's see, we have Industrial Alley, which is the industrial section, industrially speaking. We have the Eternal Parks, which is Art Park, which is Arty Farty Park, or Arty Farty people for arty farty reasons. Like, okay. The puppy injector. Oh, man's best friend, stillborn soul, cradled in a needle. Canine soul can be injected into a corpse to bring it back to life. The puppy is new into this world, but is playful and extraordinarily curious. The puppy injector. Y'all want a puppy injector? Yeah, I think I want a puppy inject. No. No. And the mustering hot channels. And look, unfortunately, we are from the mounds, otherwise known as we're from Trash Town. The skelly ball. Skelly ball! Compressing air ball inside its own bone structure, your entire skeleton can at will compress itself into the cavity inside your cranium. Makes for an excellent projectile. Malleable cranium, a jawless rubber skull with a brutish neck of bundled tubes and pipes attached to the rest of the body. Its chemical agents imbue your side with the elasticity of a rubber band. Finally, my dream of playing Luffy is finally here. The Wrangling Hat Kit. Oh boy. This is where we're from. We're the spooky, scary guys. Yeah, poorly maintained trails curve between the looming mountains of trash and expired flesh, the waste products of eternal life without entropy. Burrowing within these hills are the hovels or scavengers and failed experiments who escape decommission. Bearded vultures are common pests, they're squawking a ceaseless symphony. Ooh. Yeah, trash man from Trash Town selling trash. Yep, that's pretty much it. Or you can be from the gutter canal, you know, flood a street, repurposed into a canal, rotting walkways along its side, rooftops breach the murky waters, and empty eye sockets stare up from beneath the surface. The undead here have a reason to hide. Others have long since abandoned what was left of their humanity. Yeah, you want to become a crack? You want to become a four-armed octopus made out of cartilage, its tentacles and its skeletal hands. The body can press through any hole wider than its skull and move through water unimpeded. However, you are still going to be a level 3 warrior based off of, because we're playing an OSR game. It doesn't matter any of this, and then you're just going to be playing a warrior person. Like, cool. All right. Because like one of the big things is you're supposed to use all of these as kind of like items that you can find in that area, or like as example items, but not really anything else. Even if you were to say from one of these areas, you don't actually get any of the kits. You can have an option of getting a skeleton or getting a skull, but that's it really. Now these are the factions. These are the people trying to tear Nekropol apart. This was in poll terms, it would be the folks from LGBT and the alt-right super fascists. And I'll give you a hint. Usually the guys from LGBT are the better Polacks than anything. But yes, these are the factions. They are very scary and very sad, and everyone hates each other, and oh no! Now, we are part of the Exodites. So, we gotta, let's scroll down there. Ah, the Guilders. How can we forget the Guilders? Miniature skeletons clinging together. You can lower your skeleton's weight by 5 to separate one from the rest. It's idiotic. Can only crawl, but shares your senses and goes inanimate 10 minutes after separation. You want to be a man made of tiny skeletons? You can do it. Cool. Yeah, cool. Post-mortals. But yeah, I think this kind of sums up the game for you right here to me. Do you like this artwork? Do you like being called post-mortals with your protophylactery and neural spine? Even though they don't really do anything. That's the big thing. They don't do anything, but they're gonna tell you that they do. Illusion Limitless and the grafting kit. And here we are, the Exodites. And we still need to choose our skull. So our skull is we're going to have the Hive Skull, which is a honeycomb skull producing adhesive undead bugs. If smothered onto something, they may later be hardened onto your command, fusing objects until you order them dissolved permanently. So we have the Hive Skull. There we go, we've done it. We finished our character. Congratulations, everyone. Yep. The Exodites are literally people who want to leave, who want to find a new home. With the marrow compartments and the cranial leash, vestigial brainstem, a neural braid decorated with vertebrae. When grafted into a living being's skull, you assume full control of their body as long as one of them holding the end of a 30-foot long stem. This is what I mean by sometimes the pricing gets like, oh, tier. This is what I mean by the O tier. It's $9,999. And congrats. We've done it. These are pretty much, most of the factions are interesting, I guess, but you only get really a paragraph of each of them. You get a paragraph of the cities, you get a paragraph of these, and then it's like, oh, use the doppelganger solution, or use this, or use that. And even things when you come down to things like the Growl Keepers. These are the guys who quite literally, make sure you get the undead juice. They get a little bit more, but it's like, oh, if you want to fit Nekropol, like, where do these come from? Where are the Growl Keepers original from? Or like, what are these? What's in the ivory box? Or what's in the delivery? Like, what's the halo all about? Being like, oh, what's the Gestalt? Yeah, and it's, like, here's the Gestalt, which are evil skeletons who do skeleton things evilly. Don't do that. Look, it's the Growl, the true Growl in all its splendid and artificial pricing. Should the dead buy one drop, you are awakened as mindless drones. Second drop, however, brings with memories and blessed awareness. The treasure map. Ooh, treasure map. But here's why you're gonna buy this game. Right here. Welcome to City Generation. Don't even need you anymore. Go away. Now, generating cities, you grab a piece of paper, bigger the better, and draw the shapes described below. Draw the forgotten mounds. So, obviously, we need to do this correctly. We're going to do this correctly. So, let me just grab this. Is it? All right, so we're gonna draw. All right, everybody. Now, obviously, I need to make it sure that it fits exactly the way they have it right here. So, obviously, we're gonna have to make this entire thing black. We're gonna make a big circle first. Yeah, here's our circle. We'll make it thick. There we go. Well, first things first, we need to draw the forgotten mounds. Yeah, we'll put it like this. There we go. We'll make it like, I don't know, we'll make it white again. There we go. Yeah, we've drawn the forgotten mounds. Now we have to draw the abattoir premier. From one side of the circle to the next, draw as a straight line. The mounds part the way for the bustling streets of Ivory, thus funneling raw materials into the city proper. Alright, so we need to take a line, and we're going to draw it from one edge of the circle to the other. One edge, right there. 2. 3. Draw the industrial blocks, emerging from a new angle, a zigzag path, fully piercing the circle. The abattoirs feed the ever-hungry industrial conveyor belt. So we need to draw some zigzag lines. So we're going to do like this. We're making a city, everybody, live on air. We are building Nekropol. You can spot the racist somewhere else. There we go. Let's 1, 2, and then we will put it like right there. Cool. Draw the gutter canals. From a new angle, draw a curved path piercing the circle. So you gotta draw the gutter canals here. So we'll put the gutter canals over here. We'll put it like this, and we'll do a little bit of wiggly waggling. We'll do that. There we go. Actually, we'll do something like that. There we go. The gutter canals. That's because I want to make this big. So next we have to draw the charnels, a straight dotted path connecting the permeate and industrial blocks. Okay, so we need to connect these two locations together. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here. There we go. We've drawn the part. We've drawn the charnels. Now we have to draw the parks, connecting the two emptiest edges of the circle with a dashed curved line. Okay, so our emptiest sections are like maybe like right here to here. We'll do something like this. There we go. We did it, everybody. We built Nekropol together. The secret is that every district is the racist district. Yeah, pretty much. Oofty. Now, one of the big things what you're supposed to do at this point is that you're going to, when each line intersects, generate a landmark by rolling a d20 and then rolling a few d6s. Give it a letter and note down what landmark is there. So, let's just do a quick little once over. So, we're going to need to generate a district right here. We're going to need a landmark right here. Now, it's not very clear. There. One there. One there. Now, it is not incredibly clear if these are supposed to be intersection points, kind of the locations on the charnel channels, but I like the districts, so I'm going to put them there just for example's sake. So you're going to end up with about 5, maybe 6 different things. I kind of went out of my way to, kind of make it so that you're going to get a few, but you're going to end up with a handful of different ones. And each of these are going to be obviously labeled in some kind of way. So, for example, this is going to be A. 28. These are going to be A. And when I said I was literally just going to go through it, I wasn't lying. I'm going to go through it all together. All together now. No sense of right or wrong, because I have no sense. Put G Fuel, the G Fuel district, and that's that. Why is Twitter calling everyone in Die Dark trans? Because Twitter calls everybody trans. You should know this by. Don't let go. Twitter is nothing but sadness. You should never go. And thank you for actually bringing up Die Dark. I will go over that in a minute. Because that is a very important point I need to actually address. But yeah, so we've built the city. Now, when it says like, oh, we got to generate the landmarks, now what it's actually asking is, if I go here, I'm going to roll a d20. Alright, I'm going to roll a d20. I rolled a 2. And because I rolled a 2, I'm going to go up here. I'm going to find a 2. As you can see right here, this is the D20, the 2 section. And I need to build a landmark. How do you build a landmark? Well, guess what, everybody? You're going to roll 3d6. We have the efficient coral rot Coliseum. Welcome to the efficient coral rot Coliseum. And you're going to do that for every point. And then that's it. That's Nekropol. That's what you do. How you do it. Ta-da! We did it, everybody. We literally went through the entirety of Nekropol. Do you want anything more from Nekropol? You're not going to get it. Now, one of the big things, too, is, like, oh, when you want to generate people or loot, it's, you just generate the skeleton and skull of the associated faction, habitat, or workforce. 2 items, compartment list for each regular animated zombie. Generate a regular character. Use 3d20s. Cool. Notable characters may be equipped with contents of the loot cache. What's a loot cache? Oh, roll a page and number using a d20. Roll d6 to determine the first component that's present in the cache. Ooh, wow. Look, everybody. You can always do all these things. And then you have the generator. What's on the body? But yep, like, that's what you do, including my favorite undead, Sam. Literally all this is saying is roll a d20 and roll a d6 to have something happen. Yeah, that's Nekropol. Do you think anything more about Nekropol? No. Not really anything, to be honest. Kind of just what it is. Now, the odd thing is, and this was and Ironside mentioned this, I have a theory on why this was made. This is a comic called Die Dark, well, manga called Die Dark. Die Dark is very good. I quite enjoy it. If the artwork looks vaguely familiar, it's by the same person who did, I'm gonna miss it. Dodo Hedoro. This one. Everyone liked this one. By the same guy. Very, very weird. I like Die Dark. I like Die Dark a lot. It's charming in a weird way. Because everyone is very weirdly innocent while also being incredibly gory. It's hilarious. And I like it. I like it a lot. I have a strange feeling. There's a strange part of my brain on it. As you can even see, even the note Sona for today was very much based off of Die Dark in a way. I have this strange feeling that this person just really liked, either knew about Die Dark or kind of wanted that kind of feeling, or this is the other very likely scenario. You always got to remember this. They found the artist, Spaghetti Bastard. They found the artist here, Spaghetti Bastard, and they said, I like the art, me make game, look at art, me clap. Because at the end of the day, is Nekropol his game, or is it this person's artwork, which he accidentally put some game behind it? I think it's the latter, personally. I think he just put some game mechanics on there, kind of slap things together, and then had this person actually do the artwork for it, which makes the game actually something you'd want to look at. Now, this does bring up something very interesting, which is his other project. He did not actually request me to look at this, but I decided to spend my time and take a gander at it. Not going to go over too much about it, because it's the Goblin Law of Gaming. This is Bonepunk. This is his other game. As you see, Bearbug Slug. It is Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share Alike 4, which is to say you can't actually share this commercially. Where are you? So, and when he says glog hack, that's kind of a misnomer. The big thing is it's not really glog. It says it's glog, but it has a very different system. Glog is a D20 game. This is like a weird dice ladder system thing. You know, roll each for a character's physiology, background, failed career. Consult the given page to determine their strength, dexterity, charisma, harm prevention, imprinting cat, and starting items. So it's things like, what body was chosen for your grandpa's decorative skeleton? Your mother's set of bone armor. Use semi-animated suit of bone armor. Gorilla skeleton. You exert more force than anything. Giant hands crush anything delicate. Yeah, you want to be a gorilla? You want to be a gorilla skeleton? You can roll it. If you want. Something you can do. If you feel like it. If you want. Now, here's what I mean by, like, I think Nekropol was originally supposed to be I think Nekropol was built for this particular. A guinea pig for nascent technologies, you are made aware of the risk despite the lack of choice. Prosthetic, centaur, skull mask amplifier. Like, I have a strange feeling that he wrote Bonepunk, realized Bonepunk probably didn't do the numbers as well, and then wrote Nekropol as either like a setting for Bonepunk, or it's kind of hard to say. Skeleton of them. Yeah, Didark is great. Didark is hilarious. It is a deadly serious, but also completely comedic just because of the characters. I love it. But yeah, there's a little bit of a chicken and egg scenario here. Is what came first with Nekropol. I think what occurred was Bonepunk was written. He probably ran a game in Bonepunk, which he ran in a city called Nekropol, and then he made Nekropol. But instead of tying it to Bonepunk kind of exclusively, he said, oh no, it's a generic setting, you can slot into anything you want. And that's kind of a issue. Yeah, and then you can kind of choose all your, like, you see here, like, oh, it's your dexterity dice, oh, it's your strength dice, and oh, it's this, oh, it's this. If you roll really well, you can just get D12s and everything and be great. You know, and it's like, okay. Not stop shaking. The teeth chatter. You cannot stop chattering your teeth. Nothing can, no matter the grievous injury or even death. So, failed career, religious, and then it's like, Cardinal found your voice unsavory. As a choister. Or it's like, order to take money no one had. Taxman, check with your expertise use a D12. Servitude, outcast. You know, artisanal, military. You know, how does your improve? You know, competent, loot and necrographs, classes. How do you loot? Your available classes, roll a D10, you get it, there you go, Merry Christmas, there's only 9 classes, hope you like it. But yeah, you're gonna pretty much make an attribute check, you just need to roll a 4 above. What the system is, at the end of the day, is you take your dice, you roll, and try to hit a 4. Most of them are going to be around here, kind of in the average of like the D6 to D10 range. You might get some D12s, you might get some D8s. Most of the time it's going to be in the middle. That's it. They give you some basic things for Glog. They give you some basic things for combat. Very basic actions. Not really too exciting in that regard. I think it's kind of neat. A little bit weird, but alright. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Most of it does boil down to this, however. You know, for example, like, oh, like the fighter, you know, when you first level up, you get +1 template, each fighter template, and you get to add a bunch of things together, and that's how you get it. That's how you do it. That's how you level up, everybody. Welcome to Glog. You only get really 4 levels, and then you just kind of stick things on top of each other. That's it. Abilities through the class. First, choose an A template for one class. Next, a B template, maybe choosing, or a new A template. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you go, let's click on this. What's here? Now, this is what I think this is what he meant by, like, it's a glog game at its core. Because what opened up was all of these are valid classes of some variety. Oh, let's see. There are 560. So let's look at this. This is a valid class. This is right. Okay, so you've been everywhere. Throw 3d12. Or hey, non-plus. You've seen it before. On a first floor, save versus fear. Respect. Old friends. A nose for trouble. Yep, there you go. You wanna do it. There's all your classes, all your different things, whatever you could ever want. I'm really glogging out, everybody. You want red wall classes? You want a really good day to glog? Pancake Jones? Want to be Pancake Jones? All of these are options. Because nothing is an option, and having anything defined is a meme. But yeah, I'm like, do I like hate this game? Like, no. I think it's it's glogging over. Oh my god, it's glogging all over my thing. Oh my glog. Yeah, if you like glog, this could be interesting, I guess. But if you go under the idea, like, this was a game, like, oh, it's a Nekropol and all that. If you assume that Nekropol is built for this, then it kind of works. Nekropol by itself is kind of nothing. Nekropol, the way they want to pitch it to you, not really interesting. Was this even supposed to be a game? Nekropol itself, no. That's not. I don't think it's a game. It's supposed to be a setting book, and it's a setting book in the idea that you are like supposed to like insert this into your own setting, or like to run it by itself. Which, if you do that, it's like, why bother having all these other, like, all these different graphs, all these different parts, all these different things that make the, like, a game, or why not just do your own thing with it? Now, mind you, this is the weird thing. If someone were to pitch to me, hey, this is my game, I'm making a game of Nekropol, where everyone's in this giant-ass super undead city, and it's like this weird combination of technology and undeath, and like, oh wow, we're teetering on the edge of annihilation or whatever. I'm down. It sounds actually kind of interesting. There's something to be said about kind of a, I'd say, gonzo fantasy setting in a way. And that's what you need to really do. You need to make it gonzo fantasy, kind of emphasizing the weird. You need to make it strange, weird, mystical. You may need to look at it and say, what the fuck? Every single time you go and do anything, it should be, what in the goddamn do you mean there's a giant skeleton man hiding in the river wanting to glog all over me? Oh my god. But this isn't it. This isn't. That's kind of like my burning criticism of this. Is that there isn't really a game here, unless you think that Bonepunk, which in itself is kind of a simple like dice ladder system, is the game. Unless you kind of think about it like that, but then it kind of, then why don't you just say that it is? That's my thing. Like, if you want us to run in your game that you wrote, then cool, tell us, and then that'll be fine. But it really isn't. It's kind of a shame. I would want more from this, but I think people aren't going to buy it. Here's the thing. This is always the nasty truth. People are not going to buy it for this. No one gives a shit about the career generator or the fact that you have an artifact called the Babel Gorget, or it's the landmark. Nobody gives a shit about this. No one cares about the actual game part that actually could be useful. They care about having this on their shelf. They want to have something that they can look at. They can be like, well, look at my cool new zine I have. And they're going to put it on their shelf, and they're going to open it every now and again and put it back on the shelf. It's kind of a fun thing to look at, but like, unless you're really like guaranteed, you either already have an idea what you want to do with this, or you just don't care. It has a nice looking design. Of course they're going to buy it. Yeah, of course they're going to buy it. I mean, it's free right now. You can buy it. You can get the PDF and Bonepunk as well for free right now if you go to the itch.io. But if you're really kind of expecting anything else, you're going to be kind of disappointed. Yeah, so that's Nekropol and Bonepunk. However, something did come to my attention the other day, which I think I kind of want to talk about it. We'll do a quick Kickstarter thing. I want to know why we'll do Kickstarter, because I hate myself, and I hate you especially. And the big thing, too, is that Kickstarter is, of course, a big thing. And I always like to make sure... I hate bugs. I hate all the bugs. Now, I like to get a good idea of, like, what's actually... Wait a second. No, it's always good to have, like, okay, what's... Like, okay, we got a new game coming out here. Betwixt and Between. Forces of Nature. Samurai set. Starship Stage 0. Junkyard on the Edge. Creature Feature Compendium for OSC. Old School Essentials, because it's always old school. The Blue Collar Guide to World Building. Oh no. Action Pack Adventures. Oh god, the furries are getting stronger. G.I. Joe Mission Critical. Renegade, yeah. Yeah, gamers. But I just want to make sure, see where it is. See what the actual current funding is. Okay, we got all this. Fables of Fabe. The Cozy Murder Mystery RPG. Oh no. Oopsie doopsie. Let's see. A 7-day battle. Bag RPG, Early Empires. Okay. IT startup, Office Lockdown. Oh. A plane boarding game. Oh god, that's a Japanese game as fuck. Truly Japanese. Oh, it looks like Kingdoms of Harn. But that's kind of neat. Harn's getting some more. D420 dice set. Look, everybody, it's the funny weed number. Everybody laugh. Why aren't you laughing? Why aren't you laughing? It's the funny weed number. Snoop Dogg said it. Let's see. Fall in Love, Not in Line, Misspent Youth. Wait a second, I remember Misspent Youth being its own thing. Teenage Rebellion, Messed Up Future, ruining what's left of the world. I remember Misspent Youth. Yeah, this was way back in the day. It was really weird. I remember that. It was really weird, and it was like a thing that barely worked. And oh wow. You know what? I will keep me posted on this. I'm curious. Children of Uma. The Neo Dark Age. The convenience of big city became a death trap. 100 plus black and white work using the 3-2-1 action RPG rule set. Okay, what's the 3-2-1 action RPG rule set? 3-2-1 action. I have never heard of this. and it's a Kickstarter. Oh, wait a second. Did you write this? Yep, you did write this. 3, 2, 1 action, 3, 2, 1 action, 3, 2, 1 action. Clever man, co-creator of 3, 2, 1 action. Ah, clever man. Clever girl. You all cat people? I think you're all cat people. No, you're just wearing cat helmets. Cat and bat. Ah, get it? It's cat and bat. Yeah, I've never heard 3, 2, 1 action before, but I guess I will try to find it, and maybe I'll put it on the generic case next time. All right. I mean, I'm interested. I will. The Bag RPG. Early Canaan hosts a historically accurate lore, deities, city maps, and NPCs for Bag RPG. Gods and Men Mingle. Bag Empire. Basic and generic tabletop role-playing game system. There's another one? Where the fuck did have I like shifted timelines at this point? There's another one. Where the fuck are you people coming up with these things? Alright, guess I'll grab that early too, or later too. Why fucking furries? It's always the furries. But again, and always remember, don't make fun of furries. They can afford $1,000 fursuit. They sure as hell can afford a $10 pipe bomb. Like, just that's one thing I learned, and one thing I will never you just don't fuck with the furries. Don't fuck furries either. That's worse. That's arguably a worse idea. Less than 10 pages completion will undergo editing and play testing. So, all right. I don't think this is like more of like a geography. It's not really like a game per se. It's like a setting more than a bag RPG world. Let me guess. Did you write, yep, as such our flagship basic and generic tabletop RPG system? Ah. It's all adding together, kids. Funding unsuccessful. That's the case right there. Always look. Always look smart. Bindlewood Bay. What is Bindlewood? Murder She Wrote. It combines Murder She Wrote with H.P. Lovecraft. Oh, you're playing old ladies. Elder enjoying their retirement. Is it like a board game? Oh, wait. They can use the occult move to unlock new Crown of Void. No, this is like an RPG. You just happen to play the exact kind of characters without really any... Yeah, so... kind of weird. Alright. That's fine, I guess. Cool. Writers and story. What is it? What makes it blue collar games? Seas of Kansas from Brendan Wisdom Vault. Focusing on that. This is kind of sad. Fucking poets, artists, age 40 plus. Oh, that's really sad. Oof. Actually, wait, you got a website. Let's do a little bit of looking. So please download the quick start guide. Designed on the Time Shredders rule set. Okay, what? I'm discovering things I don't mean to discover. Time Shredders RPG? TTRPG? The Time Shredders. time travel and rebellion. So it's written by this guy, Brandon G. Osorio. What have you written here, brother? You have Goblin Lands, Dark Refuge. Oh no. Yep, this is a 40 plus year old fucking website. I can tell you that much. Oh goodness. Stealth RPG, role-playing places somebody might look kindly upon rolling the dice. Also lends itself to quick interactions. So wait. Card system can be used as stealth RPG, allowing you to roleplay in places where someone may not look kindly upon the rolling of dice. Yeah, this transitory rule set makes sure the player characters can be brought back to life as long as their team wants to bring them back, that is. Rescuers using their unique skills and backgrounds to save lives. Development history. 20 years, beta tests. Color me interested. I don't know about you, but here we are. We're learning a little bit about ourselves, and that's half the fun, right? That's half the fun. Stop making fun of us, you boomers. Almost had a fucking nightmare there when Mega Tokyo showed up. Fuck the COVID. Yeah. Oh wow. Never seen one of those board games before. Wow. Yeah, this actually got funded, and for some reason, people funded retail therapy. I don't know why, but I guess people just hate themselves. That's the only way I can really think about it. They just hate having fun. Weird. Where was the thing? I know you're here. Thank God that's not getting funded, because that's a fucking pyramid scheme. Robotech Macross, where are you? Because I found something interesting about a very certain kind of game. So, this is the old Gods of Appalachia. This is Monty Cook's new pyramid scheme. This is the only explanation I have for why people have given him money. However, the weird thing I learned was this is the lead developer. Now, if we scroll all the way down here, we get to learn. Oh, this is the lead developer, Shanna, Germain. Now, I did a little looking. I was like, who is this Shanna Germain? And I'm like, sounds like she's got some good, things. And then I looked at her Twitter, like, here's Shanna Germain, like, all right. But then I scrolled down a little bit. This is the first thing you see. Mind you, this is a children's game right down here. Yeah. I'm like, wait a second. This is, interesting. And then I looked, okay. Maybe it's just like, she just wants to show up what it is. Select body of works. An RP game design. Okay. To the Grimmer Space, Kobold Guides of Monsters, Shadow the Demon Lord, Torment Tides of Numenera, Ultimate Micro RPG, We're All Mad Here, Best Game Ever, No Thank You Evil, and of course Invisible Sun and Numenera. Can you really call that game design when you fucking work for the company? However, this is where things get a little bit weirder. I just wanted to show people this. Now, these three are actually these are Numenera books. However, Leatherbound, Bound by Lust, Lure of Dangerous Women. Leatherbound, Kindle Edition, Shanna Germain, right here. Alright. Bound by Lust, Romantic Stories of Submission and Sensuality. Okay. Lure of Dangerous Women. Oh. Award-winning author sure several darkest, lushest fantasy horror stories about big, strong, smart women who know that danger is a matter of scale and which side you happen to be standing on. Oh, as kinky as you want to be, the guide to to safe, sane, and smart BDSM. It's not it won't teach you how to tie up your squirming lover, choose the proper lube. Kind of kinky person has to be safe, sane, and smart. What in the goddamn? No, I don't think it's any. None of this is designed for kids, mind you. I find it very odd though that you would put it in the same sentence kind of thing, being like, oh yeah, if you were to say, oh, I'm a numenaire writer and I've done all this erotica stuff, cool. I'll be like, cool, fine, that's fine. You know what I believe in? I believe in writer. Hell, I have a fucking porn book, for God's sakes. That's just something I find interesting. Cool, fine. Don't put the fact that you wrote a kids RPG on there as well. That's where things get a little bit wonky. It's like, maybe don't bring that up. Like, maybe don't bring that up. Like, do you really need to put this on your CV? Well, the weird thing here, Danzai, is that this is her CV. This is all her short fiction, essays, and poetry. You know, it's The Many Little Deaths of Cecilia, Fantasia Erotica, Best Erotica, Hint Fiction, Mammoth Books, Best New Erotica, Best Gay Romance, Best Lesbian Romance, Better Darker Erotic Stories, Best Lesbian Erotica, Best Gay Erotica. Yeah, and it's like, do not, like, it's like, wait a second, like, it's not, if it was just like a few pieces, fine, cool, that's whatever. However, you say 40 cats. Sorry, we're dealing with white women here, everybody. White woman alert. But yeah, I just wanted to see this because I find it fascinating. Because it's a little bit weird when you look at it. You're like, what the fuck? Okay. And I looked a little bit deeper into, like, none of the other ones are, like, really, really big. Like, we'll do, like, Cam Collins, TTRPG. Like, Cammy Cat. There we go. There she is. Old Gods of Appalachia. Yeah, that's all she has really written down in any, you know. Looks like this is her anthology podcast. Yeah, I think this game is literally based on that particular podcast. Yeah, like literally it's based off a podcast, I think. That's kind of odd. But like Appalachian Arcana. Let's see. Steve Shell. Like what's Steve Shell? Tell me about Mr. Shell. Please tell me more. Let's see. Yeah, no, literally nothing about that. Let's see. Do we have anything here? No. Old Gods of Appalachia. Anthology podcast set in the darkest mountains of the world. Yeah. I'm not really seeing anything about him. Native Hawaii's, well, the Appalachian experience, a project, first non-founder, and then Monty Cook, who just wants money. 1.5 million for what can roughly be summarized as an ad. It's the nature of things. I'm fascinated. I'm interested. I am following this project. It has eclipsed 1.5 million, way more than it needed. And when it comes out, here's the thing, when it comes out, I will look at it and I'll do it. I mean, I wonder how popular is, like, here's the thing, like, it's obviously, like, let's do Patreon. Who, yeah, have sponsors. Yeah, like, they clearly have sponsors, like, they clearly have, like, people who, like, at least give them money. Like, how much Yeah, 6,930 patrons. Yeah, there are a few patrons. And then most of them are, even if minimum they're making $1 each, then that's still $6,900. You know, even, but let's be honest with ourselves, probably some of these guys are going as high as like $50, $20 a month. So they're probably making about 10 grand a month easy. But we can't see it because you silly boys, you gotta tell us these things. But yeah, literally it's an ad. Like, I think if you want me to be in the nicest way possible, I think Old Gods of Appalachia, the role-playing game, is an ad for this. Because there are 6,930 people who are going to probably want to buy it. And because they want to buy that 6,930 people who want to buy the book, even if it doesn't translate over directly, there's still going to be people kind of doing, best way to word it is cross-pollination. There's probably a bunch of people who watch it that don't subscribe to the Patreon. There are literally people going right now. I just saw it increase. And I think there's a little bit of back and a little bit of back and forth in that regard. Like, I think the people who really like this already have bought it and who want it. I just find it very strange. Like, what prompted this? But then, like, wait a second. It prompted because Monty Cook's not stupid. He knows he can make some money off of it. Like, all of this, like, it's not Invisible Sun. Let's just say that. This is not Invisible Sun. You know, explore the planes for 5e. The devil made us do it. The darkest heroes of the Cypher system. Monty Cook, like the Invisible Sun. Numenera, Invisible Sun. Your best game ever. No thank you, Evil. Game's so nice we're making it twice. No thank you, Evil. The adventure continues. Yeah, like kids RPGs make fucking bank. That's just one thing you always gotta remember. Yeah, fucking Numenera. Fucking Numenera. But yeah, like, am I saying this is like a I just want some money kind of game, but we're sponsoring it because of this? Yeah, even though this is the bizarre thing. Like, one of the main writers of and co-creators of this only has like 1,100 followers compared to the 22,000 here. Like, I think people care more about this than they care about the people behind it. Oh, God. Oh, God. No. We're leaving. But yeah, that's we'll take a quick gander to it at itch.io. New and popular. Let's see what's new and popular out there. What's popping? Oh wow, look everyone, it's Caltrop Core. It's Caltrop Core. It's Caltrop Core. We have Caltrop Core. Fucking whoever thought about supporting Caltrop Core deserves nothing but the rope. Not in Minecraft. I can say that now because, you know, Elon bought Twitter, so I can say that now. See, I always find it strange when people are like, you know what? Let's see. This letter writing game for two players, $3, please. Like, I've always debated, like, maybe I should charge for all my games, just not do pay what you want at all. Just because nobody actually downloads the games if they're pay what you want, and just make everything like $2, $3. Just at the point of, you know, the fucking with people. Let's see, eyes on the prize. Look, everybody. The companion piece. You can now buy the expansion to Light from not the other person. I hate Eyes on the Prize, a fake marriage RPG. Wow. You know what? I need some more for the romance RPG. Let's do it, boys. Don't worry, everybody. It's going to be great. Of course I'll download things for community copies, because I'm a horrible human being. Remember that. Sell them for $1. Hey, I'll have you know, I probably wouldn't even get them for $1. The Ring of Spear, a Destiny fan war game. Oh. Oh, there I am. Ta-da, look. Here it is. It's Iron Hunter, the Ashcan edition. So if you want to... Ta-da! You want to get Iron Hunter, you can do it right now. Also, since I am obligated to say this, these are one of the consortium members' games. Welcome to Wuso's game. It rules like mission-based action auction balance TTRPG illuminated by Lumen. Yay! Here it is. It's the Lumen game. These are his 2 games. This is his other one. This is nuclear. It's definitely not Lumen. Nope, it's inspired by it though. It's a power fantasy. Ta-da! It's Lumen. Honestly, you joke, Ironside. I have debated on it before. I have debated on, applying my hand. I'm not lying. All I'm saying is not lying, but simply stretching the truth a little bit. Of who T Notepad add-on is. But alas, that's what we're gonna call it there for today. So thank you all for coming. A little bit of a weird one, a little bit unformal, simply just because I got a press kit for this and I wanted to go over it because I found it interesting. But as kind of stated yesterday, next week I am going to commit to absolutely nothing. And I'm going to commit to absolutely nothing because I'm going to be moving. And I don't know if internet's going to be up. I don't know how things are going to really go, so I don't really want to commit to something. So next week might be a week off for me. And as such, since it's going to be a week off for me, it's probably also going to be kind of a media week. Otherwise known as I'm probably just going to watch some movies and I'm going to hang out and do things in between moving. So, as usual, if you ever have any ideas or any suggestions for games, feel free to tell me and slap it in the drinking lounge and I will add it to the list. Ta-da! So thank you all. Godspeed and good luck, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Goodbye.